Okay, how about now? Can you hear me now? Haha. Sorry, first time with the new webinar platform. I'm really excited. This platform has some really great features in it. It's called Demio. It's pretty slick, and you can see my screen. That part I can see. So thanks for joining us today. I am very excited to be with you. My name is Dan Woodman. This is What's Cookin', and we're going to talk today about marketing that you could be doing with your restaurant right now to build your audience, to get things rolling, so that when you do get to reopen, things are good. So it is time for us to get started. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Everybody ready? Here we go. So we all know what the problem is. Restaurant dining rooms across the country are closed. So unless you were set up as a carry-out restaurant already, that's a problem for you. And that problem's cutting into your business. But you didn't come here to hear what you already know. You came here to learn how to fix it. And I'm here to tell you that even though your dining room is closed, the window for opportunity is wide open. All right, I'm going to reshare my screen. I'm not sharing my camera because I have quarantine hair. So if that's what you were waiting for, you're not going to be able to see that. But can you see my screen? Because we're going to have lots of slides here. We're going to share a lot of information. All right. So in today's webinar, I'm going to talk to you about things that you can do right now while you're still closed to build up your business. And we're going to leverage those things into a successful relaunch when your dining room does reopen. All right. So let's talk about what's cooking. So some states are completely shut down, but everybody on here is in a little bit different situation. Some states are completely shut down. Others have started to open back up. Some of you, if you were already set up for carryout, maybe you were even set up for delivery. Others have been scrambling to try and figure out what to do, right? How are we gonna deal with this? So I just shared a poll to find out what your status is. So I'm going to keep going while you vote. Some of you have a great communication method with your customer base, whatever that might be, social media, email, it could be any number of things. But some of you are working on that now too. So we conducted a lot of research in preparation for this webinar, and we know that it's different for everybody and it's different everywhere. So we talked to some business owners who, honestly, they just closed their doors to wait this out. Others have told us that they've had record-setting days, really record-setting. So no one solution is going to work for everybody, which is why we're going to cover the gamut and talk about ways to solve as many problems as we can in the time that we have. So we do all have one thing in common. People have never been as concerned with supporting our businesses as they are right now. They're all aware on some level of our struggles, and they want to help. So it's up to us to provide a path to let them help. So just like a good meal, all of this starts with good ingredients. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. It all starts with good ingredients. In this case, the main ingredient is your online presence. Online marketing has certainly been the way to go for a while, but it's even more important now. People in many states are stuck in their homes, and their internet is the window to the world. It's where they're getting their news, their entertainment, and it's where they're hunting for their food. We need to make sure that we're an easy target. So let's start with the very basics. If you go to Google and type in your restaurant's name, do the results contain your website? Now, don't worry, I'm not going to try and sell you SEO or anything. I'm really just saying, when you type in the name of your restaurant, does your website come up? And is it easy to get from those search results to your menu? People want to support your business, and they might have some extra time on their hands, but they don't want to spend it trying to track down your menu. They have plenty of other food options, and if it's too much work, they're going to move on. If you think about it, it's really no different than having a good location. Pre-COVID, if it was too much work to get to your place, people would probably go somewhere else. If you just did that search and your menu isn't there, hang tight. We're going to talk about how to fix it. But first, I want to see if we can seat some more people at this particular table. So let's look at this Google search. So this is for one of my favorite local restaurants. And their menu, you can see the name of the restaurant is China Star, and their menu is plastered all over this page. But is it their menu? And that's important. Is your menu associated with your restaurant's website, Or is it something like menus online for free today only.com? Or maybe it's a social media link like a Facebook page, which has your menu on it. Now, there's nothing wrong with that per se, but if that's the only way for people to get to your menu, you're actually missing out on your own traffic. That's the pre-COVID equivalent of turning people away from your dining room and asking them to go down to the gas station on the corner where they sell your food prepackaged in plastic containers. You'd never have done that, right? You just wouldn't. You'd be missing out on so much, just like you do if you don't have your own website. So we're going to talk more about what you're missing out on. But first, let's just level the playing field. If you don't have a website, now's the time to get one. So it looks like the answer to the poll, lots of carry out and delivery. A few people are open, which is great. Some people are closed. So I'm going to go ahead and change up this poll here to see who's got your own website. So I'm just curious. You can make a website yourself. You can pay somebody like us to make one for you too. But in this case, having something is almost always better than nothing. Okay, so having some kind of website is almost always better than nothing. So what we're going to look at is a way to build your own website. And if you want to tackle this yourself, I suggest just taking a look at a DIY website builder like Squarespace, Wix, Weebly. They're all fairly straightforward to learn and use. And realistically, you could upload some pictures, you could write some content, and you could have a website that would be done tonight. You could even go over to PosterMyWall, and you could go in and pick from one of their menus, create a menu, get it uploaded to the website. And really, this could be a project that you do tonight, and you could have a website. And I'm going to tell you why that having that website is super important. But first, I want to talk a little bit about what's really important when you're thinking about your website is you need to make sure that the menu is readily available, that the website is readable, but also that the website is responsive, which means that it works across all devices. So you want to make sure that it works on a phone and a tablet as much as it works on a desktop. Okay, so I can't stress this enough. Earlier, I said it's almost always better to have something instead of nothing. That's one of the exceptions. If your website isn't mobile friendly, it's probably better to just pull it down and start over. It's really important to think about the fact that it has to work on a mobile device. The other situation where something is not better than nothing is if your website's radically out of date. It's actually worse than if it isn't there. If it isn't there, people assume, well, maybe I just couldn't find it, or maybe these guys are too cool to have a website, right? But if they see a website that's really out of date, they know you built one at one point, and that was really kind of all the effort you put into it. And that's why a shiny new website is a good investment. And there's all kinds of sources to DIY. And you can also, like I said earlier, hire somebody like us to do one. We have website packages that start at $99 a month. So you can always find somebody around, even locally, that can help you build a website. All right. So now that we've talked about websites, let's move on to carry out and curbside, right? By now, you probably have some kind of system in place just out of necessity. But carry out and curbside pickup is going to be with us for a while. So it doesn't hurt to think about how to improve this particular process. The most obvious improvement to carry out or pick up is really for customers to be able to order online. It's easier for them, and it's probably easier for you as long as you have a good system. And that brings us to Square. So really, we're just throwing out some options here. I'm not telling you to use any of these products. I'm just telling you these products are available for you. Square is another website builder, but they obviously have a POS system. So a lot of restaurants use their POS system already. If you are using their POS system, it makes it really easy to get an online ordering system set up. If you're not, you can still take advantage of their system, even if you don't have their POS, to build yourself a quick little carry out or curbside type online ordering system. But Square also has a lot of options that you can add on that are something that's kind of important right now. So one of those things is local delivery. So they've implemented a local delivery solution inside of their platform that is free until the end of June. So you can take advantage of that. They have contactless payment options so that you can use Apple Pay and Google Pay and all those cool pays so that people don't have to touch you and you don't have to touch them. But they also have a loyalty program, they have gift cards, and they have integrated marketing tools. So I'm not going to go into how to create a Square site. Even though they made the process pretty simple, it's still a complicated process. But there are plenty of people out there who can help you implement Square. And again, this is something you can do yourself as long as you're willing to be patient. But I want to talk about gift cards. So we talked about how people want to support your business right now, and they're really trying to support your business. Gift cards are a great way to help them help you. It's an easy way for them to support your business, and it gets cash in your pocket right now. We call that a win-win around here, but the people need to be able to order them, right? So if you have an online system, add gift cards to it. If you don't, you can use something like Square. But even if you don't, go into PosterMyWall, make some gift cards. They have lots of templates, and make some and get them printed and at least sell them at your location. That's a great short-term solution until you can get something a little longer term in place. All right, we're moving on to eat this, not that. So people are going to be going to your website, but they're also going to be looking for other places to eat. Sites like Yelp, they're going to go there. They're going to be looking for places to eat. So you'll want to make sure that your profile and all those kinds of sites is up to date. Now, I'm not suggesting that you actually pay to advertise on Yelp. We'll talk about way more direct and effective ways that you can market yourself. But you do want to make sure that your Yelp profile is up to date, even on just the free profile. They've also added some new paid features that are kind of COVID specific, like banners, which tell customers what options you have right now and the status of your business so that they know for sure what's going on. So if you are already paying Yelp, that's definitely something that you want to go check out. And this brings us around to Google My Business and Bing Places. So I'm going to pull this. We already saw this once, but I'm going to pull this back up. So over here on the right, where it says all the information about ChinaStar, this is Google My Business. And Google My Business and Bing Places are two services that really perform similar functions. They're designed to provide searchers with kind of a summary of your business that they can see without having to go to your website. So it's like a mini little landing page. And if you haven't done it already, you'll want to go in and claim both your Bing Places profile and your Google My Business profile. So there's a link, you can see it right there under the phone number. It says own this business, and you can click on that and go in and claim your listing. So that's really important if you haven't done it, because it's going to allow you to actually update all of the information that's on this page. And you're going to want to make sure you do that and that everything is correct. So you're going to want to make sure that you have the services that you're offering listed, dine out, takeout, delivery, whatever it might be. You want to make sure that your info is correct, right? Just your basic stuff, your hours, your phone number, your address. All of this is important because people are going to be looking at this. So they're going to want up-to-date information, and you're certainly going to want them to have it. You're going to want to link directly to your menu, right? They have that option on there, so you're definitely going to want to take advantage of it. A link to your website, delivery links, and ultimately this is where Google and Bing reviews go. So you're really going to want to make sure that if you are asking people for Google reviews, you're definitely going to want to own this page, because you're going to want to be able to respond to them, and you're going to want to be able to point them to this page to give you reviews. So it's just a good idea in general to keep an eye on these sites. They're constantly adding features. Google My Business pre-COVID, they were really trying to roll out almost a social media type announcement system on their Google My Business pages. And it's still there somewhat, but they're publicly saying like, hey, everything on here is a little bit limited right now in service. Our people are working from home, so you might notice that things are not the same as they usually are, but absolutely this is going to be rolling out full force as soon as they can. So it's really a good time to get a handle on everything here. It's also a good time to get a handle on all the various delivery sites, even the ones that you don't use. Check and make sure that your business is not listed on delivery sites that you're not using. So I've seen this a lot recently. There's a lot of these delivery sites that will list your business. So if I do a search for your business, just like this page that I have up right now, one of these delivery services will list China Star as a business that delivers through their service. But if you click on that link, you end up on a page that says, oh, this restaurant isn't taking orders right now. In some cases, they're not taking orders because they've never been a client of that particular delivery service. And instead, what's happening is that delivery service is siphoning off their traffic by saying, oh, that restaurant's not taking orders, but here are 5 restaurants we do have that we can deliver to you from. And so basically if I went looking for China Star, I ended up on one of those delivery sites, I just lost my customer, right? I just lost business. So it's worth doing a Google search, doing a Bing search, seeing where you show up, because where your business shows up for you is where it's going to be showing up for your customers as well. So you want to make sure that you know where that is and that it isn't somewhere it shouldn't be, right? Okay, so on the subject of delivery, right, as long as we're talking about it, if you're not already doing it, it's kind of a good time to take a look at it. Depending on where you are, you probably have a lot of options. Grubhub, Postmates, DoorDash, Uber Eats, Mr. Delivery, there's a ton of them. All of those could be viable options for your business. And the reason I mentioned this from a marketing perspective, certainly, right, it's nice to have delivery, but some of these services are spending a lot of money right now to market their service, which means if you're on there, they're spending a lot of money to potentially market you. So it's something that's worth thinking about. I personally always love it when another business wants to spend money to market my business. So, that's kind of what's going on with some of these delivery services right now. So it can just be another win-win, which I've already said how big a fan I am of those. But only you can make that particular call. So, you have to do what's right for you. Some of my favorite local places are actually trying delivery on their own. They are, just somebody in a car driving around delivering food like pizza places do, but on a much smaller scale. And then some of them have signed on with one of those services. But a lot of them have just gone to a pickup or carry out only model to, just drive traffic and provide the food that they can. So, it looks like we've got carry out delivery. 42% of you are doing carry out or delivery in some form or fashion. So anyway, delivery base, just worth considering. Let's move on. Let's talk about a table for 2,000. There is never, okay, I'm going to make a bold statement right here. And I want you, you're all going to hear it. We're all here together. That bold statement is there has never been a better time to build an audience in the restaurant business since the very first restaurant opened its doors. Never been a better time. People are invested. They really genuinely care about the fate of their local restaurants. They want to support those local businesses. And we want to make sure that everybody here is taking full advantage of this. So building your audience really in both quantity and quality is the single most important piece of advice that I'm going to give you today. This is it. This is the most important thing we're going to talk about. And I want to take a little time on this because it's pretty interesting. Eating in a restaurant is an experience. And obviously all of you know that. That's why you're in this business. And a lot of places cater to that, right? You offer themed decor. You create a certain kind of atmosphere inside of your establishment. Looking at that from a marketing standpoint, that's all customer engagement. Every interaction that a customer has with your staff is engagement. And it's part of what keeps people going back for more. But that part of the dining experience really is missing right now. It's mostly lost in a carryout order. The carefully constructed ambiance, it's just kind of a fond memory as I sit and eat food out of a to-go container at my own dining room table, right? So enter social media. You can keep up that customer engagement in a completely different way by using the power of social media, which really also happens to be a great way to create engaging content that will help you build out your social media audience. So here's another win-win. Let's talk about some ways to create engaging content. First, let's talk about nostalgia. Maybe your restaurant's been around for a long time, or it's a place conducive to celebrations like birthday parties or graduations. Maybe it's just a traditional spot for certain groups or activities, right? Maybe it's the place to go have a drink and a meal after the big game. Whatever it is, think about that audience and what brings them into your restaurant. And think about, is it something that they can feel nostalgic about? If so, that is a fantastic way to engage with people on social media. And it's a great way to get them to engage with you, your social media account, and even each other on your page. So prompt your fans, your fan base, to talk about their favorite memories or post their favorite pictures. Or if you're the kind of restaurant that has pictures of your guests, post your own pictures. Throwback photos are great right now because they kind of remind us of what we're all missing out on. Recycle your content. Recycling is always good. And in this case, recycling content is good as well. So when what we're going to be doing here with social media really starts to work, you're going to have new followers and you're going to want to keep them in the know. So last week in my own home, we wanted to order from a restaurant that we'd only been to a couple of times before, but we liked it. So we went and checked Facebook. We saw they were doing carryout and online ordering. So we called them. And the woman who answered told us all carryout orders had to be placed online, which I didn't know. I didn't see that on their Facebook page, but no big deal, right? That's fine. So we went online to order from their brand new website, which, by the way, was not a great website, but it was there. It was a website. And we went to order, and all they had was a limited menu. So they only had a few things, which is fine. I'm not criticizing them for that. But we didn't know that. So the things that we specifically wanted to order were not part of that limited menu. So we kind of went through that whole process only to end up in disappointment. Whereas if we had known that ahead of time, if that information had been available to us, we might have ordered from them anyway and been like, let's just get something else. But we didn't. So my point in telling you all this is that when you share a post on Facebook, your followers all don't magically see it. So even though we follow that restaurant on Facebook, I didn't see that post because that's not how the Facebook algorithm works. And I think everybody probably knows that by now. But in case you didn't, now you're in the loop. So it's okay to recycle your content and post the same things every now and then. We call it in the business, we call it evergreen. It's evergreen content. Things that you keep posting over and over again. And it's super helpful for new followers, but it also means that the content is going to be seen by more of your regular or long-term followers as well. So don't be afraid to recycle content. Don't think, oh man, I have to make new Facebook posts every single day. Try new stuff. This is another option that you have to really engage with your client base. If you've done specials before, ask your fans what they miss the most, or what they want again, right? Our goal here is to really drive engagement with our social media presence. So if we can drive engagement, if we can get people interacting with us, that helps us because the more people that engage with our content, the more people see our content. So it's really self-serving for us to get people to engage. So one of the local pizza places here, that's one of our clients and a pizza place that I love, every month they do a new themed special. So usually it's a salad and a pizza and a new kind of hot wings. It's a new theme for all those elements. Sometimes they throw a cocktail in there as well. And then it all is a theme. So like at Christmas time, they themed everything around Home Alone. So it's just fun. But the point in me telling you this is that last month they said, hey, we know you're all stuck in your homes and we want to bring you comfort food. So vote on what your favorite theme has been and we'll bring that back. We'll bring that one back and you can order it. And people did, and it was a huge engagement for that restaurant. So this is definitely something that is worth thinking about is, what can I do to get these people to engage with me? And if you've done something like that, if you've done specials or different items, definitely ask people if they want them back, right? Another pizza place that we have here just started serving breakfast pizza on specific days. We got a bar in town that started doing a $5 cheeseburger carryout basket. One specific day a week, you can get a $5 cheeseburger basket. And on that one day, that's all that's on my Facebook feed is pictures of people, either pictures of their cheeseburgers or pictures of them eating their cheeseburgers. And of course, what happens, it makes me want a cheeseburger. So that's been working really well for them as well. Something else that works really well is referencing pop culture. So what we have here is another of our local pizza places that has jumped on the Tiger King bandwagon, right? So when you do pop culture references correctly, it can produce amazing results because it humanizes your business and it makes your followers feel like you're one of their friends. It makes you relatable. So these guys crown themselves the pizza kings. And really that and some tiger themed clothing would have amused people and been engaging for a while, but it wasn't enough for them. So they took it to the next level. And as you can see, they got the full on facial hair. I don't even know what that kind of facial hair is called that Joe Exotic has, but they've got it. And they've been running this for a few weeks now. And it's not constant, right? That would get old. It's not every single post, but just every once in a while, they'll do this or do something like this. And the result is that they don't even have to refer to themselves as the Pizza Kings anymore. People are doing it for them, right? So they've sort of become the Pizza Kings, which is pretty cool. Another way to create great engagement is to ask questions. So quality content really isn't about selling your business. And we see plenty of businesses that it's just a constant stream of, here's what we can do for you. Here's our special. Here's what we have today. That's just not quality content. It's just something that people see and they just sort of move on. What you really want to do is engage with your audience. So it's just like your wait staff, right? They don't walk up to a table and say, here's our special, order now, right? They have a conversation. They're human. They talk to their guests. And that's what you want to do on social media. So asking questions is a great way to do that. And there's all kinds of questions you can ask, right? What are people doing? What are they watching? What kind of activities do they miss? Where do they want to go as soon as things open back up? I mean, there's a ton of things that people can't talk about right now because we're all sort of stuck at home and we're all on social media. So another thing, don't be afraid to brag a little bit. Keep it humble. But if one of your staff is doing something awesome, like maybe you've got a staff member who is sewing masks in their free time, share it, right? Or even a business thing. If you hit 100 or 1,000 or 100,000 or whatever orders in a day, right? Whatever is important to you or a big deal to you, tell people about it. And feel free to tell people about it and keep it humble by saying thank you, right? Like, hey, thanks everybody. We hit 100 orders today and it was awesome. The staff is so happy, right? That kind of engagement really works because the customers that took part in it, that had a hand in it, will feel appreciated. And the customers that didn't are going to be reminded and be like, oh man, clearly people are ordering. I should order too. So that's another way to get engagement. And you can get your fans to do a lot of your heavy lifting. There was a local sandwich shop here in town that was struggling a little more than some other businesses, but they're kind of tucked away in a shopping center. It's mostly most of the traffic comes from a grocery store, which obviously isn't getting normal levels of traffic. And the place hasn't been around long enough to be a tradition or nostalgic in any way, but it's a nice place and it serves a pretty good sandwich. Well, one of their regulars found out about their troubles and they went to Facebook to let people know that they were struggling. And it wasn't just a Facebook post on her own page. She actually went into one of the community Facebook groups and let people know that the place was there, right? Reminding them that they were there and asking them to stop by and pick up a sandwich. And the result was that their business just exploded that day. And the owner went on Facebook and, told people how thankful she was that all of that happened. I mean, it didn't go viral in a big way, but it certainly went viral in a local way. And it got so much press that the grocery store that's in that plaza actually contacted the owner of that business and offered to sell pre-made sandwiches in their store until this is all over. So she actually now has another outlet to be able to sell her food, which is great. So as you're thinking about how to create engagement and how to create great content, remember that pictures and video are just not optional. They have to be there. They're imperative. You need pictures. You need video. People engage a gajillion times more with posts that have pictures and 2 gajillion more with posts that have video. And those numbers are 100% accurate and certainly not made up by me in any way. But seriously, a quick search on any marketing site is going to show you if you want engagement on social media, you need pictures and video. And it doesn't have to be all pictures of your food. In fact, it shouldn't be. So my recommendation, turn to our partner here, PosterMyWall, to find a template to turn anything into an engaging post with high quality photos or super engaging video. You can even use their professionally designed templates, like all these templates that are on your screen right now, and you could go in and replace the video or the photo with your own. So you don't have to just use the images they have. You can go in and replace them with your own, which really makes all of these templates super versatile. And it makes it really easy for you to be able to create great content. So the other thing that I want to talk about here is go beyond your own Facebook news feed. And I don't know how many of you are doing this, and I should have created a poll for it, but posting on your own newsfeed is important, right? Creating a Facebook post, super important, but it's not the only place you should be posting. Community groups have sprouted up all over Facebook, kind of like, I don't know, dandelions in your neighbor's yard. You want to take advantage of them. In our area, for instance, we have a curbside carryout group, which is 100% focused on letting people know what restaurants are open and offering food. It started up as a part of all this, and that's the only thing that group is about. And it has 15,000 people in it. The important part of that is, so maybe based on where you're at, 15,000 people is a ton or not a lot at all. But this is 15,000 people who are interested in one thing, which is why they joined the group. And that one thing is figuring out where they can order food from. What restaurants can I buy food from? So it's really important that you look around and find those kind of groups, because that audience is for you. That's why it's made. We have another group that's been around for a long time that really focuses on local news and events. It's the kind of group that shares garage sales and lost dogs and that kind of thing. It has like 50,000 people in it though. And they've been doing a daily featured business post, and it doesn't cost anything. All you have to do is reach out to the admins of the group and ask them to be the daily featured business, and they'll let you share what your restaurant is doing, what kinds of specials you're offering, right? They're willing to help like that. And their members in those groups like that tend to be really engaged. So it's a really good place for you to get into, because those people pay a lot of attention to the things that happen in those groups, the members do. So if you haven't already, definitely look around for some Facebook groups that either you can join, or at least that you can participate in and share content with, or that your fans are already in, so you can have them do it for you. There's a lot of ways to reach out right now, and we need to take advantage of all of them. So Facebook Live is another great way to showcase your business. If you've never used it before, it's a video tool that's designed to present, which I guess you might guess from the name, live video. And it allows you to broadcast right on your Facebook page, and it lets your followers know that you're broadcasting live, so they can join in and they can engage with you. It's not quite real time, but it's pretty close. So as far as that goes, it's really useful for big announcements or pre-planned events. Like if you just threw up a Facebook Live right now with no notification, maybe some people would tune in if they happen to be sitting on Facebook anyway. And maybe some people would catch it later after it was over and it wasn't live anymore. But if you schedule it out and say, hey, we're going live this Friday at 6 o'clock to talk about something new, right? Your followers are going to potentially join in and watch to see what it is that you have. So it's really something to think about and to keep in mind as a communication tool. I think I said this before too, but as long as we're talking about Facebook, I'm going to mention it again because it's important enough to have said twice. Make sure your Facebook page information is all up to date. Okay. Your hours, your website link, your phone number, your menu, all of that stuff needs to be up to date, because if somebody goes there, we want to make sure that the information that they're seeing is correct, and don't find out that you have a limited menu only after they call. All right. So let's move beyond Facebook. We're going to come back to it, I promise. But let's talk about some other social media. I feel like Facebook gets a lot of press, and sometimes it seems like it's the only social media game in town, but it is not. Let's talk about Instagram or Twitter, Snapchat, Nextdoor. All of these have their specific places in marketing your business. But here's the deal. It could be a little bit overwhelming if you're trying to keep up on all of these platforms. And some of you are probably trying. It's a lot, right? I mean, we own a social media company, and it's a lot for us to keep up on our clients if they're trying to do all those social media platforms. So my rule of thumb is this: 1 is way better than none, and 2 is better than 1, but only if you're going to be active on 2. If you're not, just stick with 1 and keep doing what you're doing. You can post similar content across the platform. You don't have to necessarily create brand new content for Instagram versus Facebook. You don't have to come up with a completely different idea, but you don't just want to tie those two together and let your Facebook stuff roll over to Twitter, or let your Twitter feed roll onto Facebook. And I don't mean to offend, but it's lazy. And the people that are using those platforms see what's happening, and it doesn't do you any good. You don't get any engagement out of it, and it doesn't really help you. So just think about creating content for each of those platforms as a separate task, although it can certainly be related content. Okay. So having said all that, let's talk a little bit about Instagram. 1 billion, with a B, billion people use Instagram every month. 63% of those people log in every single day. And 1/3 of the most viewed stories on Instagram are from businesses. So if you're not familiar with Instagram stories, it's a cool little video made out of slides or out of videos or photos that plays, and you can kind of zone out by turning on a story, and then it rolls into the next story. And before you know it, you've been staring at your phone for 10 minutes and watched a bunch of stories. So is it worth getting on Instagram? Heck yes. It is the second most downloaded free app in the App Store. So if you have the time, Instagram is absolutely worth it. Twitter, it's more than a place for politics, but the thing about Twitter is that it happens in real time. So if you're not really active on social media, if you can't devote the time, you're going to miss the things that make Twitter work. You're going to miss out on sort of all of the live events that are happening and being responded to in real time. So I would consider Twitter an advanced social media platform, because you really need to be on top of it, or have someone on staff who's on top of it, or pay somebody to be on top of it. But when you're on it, you can make an impact. So if you take a look at Wendy's, right, I realize they're a huge corporation and they pay a team of people to do this. But if you take a look at their tweets, it's a great example. They are very sarcastic and sassy, and they've made a name for themselves. Or you can go look at and see how KFC made news when somebody realized that on Twitter they only followed 5 Spice Girls and 6 guys named Herb, for a total, if you're playing along at home, of 11 herbs and spices. Twitter is really a great platform for turning your brand into a personality, if that's what you're trying to do. But like I said, it takes a lot of work to get there. So the best way to think about Twitter is that it's a live conversation. It's not an answering machine, right? Facebook can almost be like a sign that you put up, and then later you go by and see if anybody has scribbled anything on the sign. Twitter's right now. It's right now. Nextdoor. So you might not think of this as a social media platform, even though it is. But if you're not using Nextdoor, you might be missing out on a little bit of low-hanging fruit. It's literally your neighborhood online. So the idea behind Nextdoor is that you create an account by entering your address, and then you get put into an online version of your real-life neighborhood. Their website actually has this quote on it: "By bringing neighbors together, we can cultivate a kinder world where everyone has a neighborhood they can rely on." That really, I love that. I don't know that really happens all the time. I mean, some of my neighbors are jerks. Some of yours might be too. But overall, that's a great sentiment. And it is a good place to promote your restaurant, because it's people in your neighborhood. You know they're in your neighborhood. And if you go in there with the mindset of how can I help them rather than how can they help me, you're going to get a lot further than a constant stream of self-promotion. But you probably have fans, followers that are already in those next door neighborhoods, and they can help you as well. So now I said all this, and we talked about engaging content and how you need to have pictures and videos. Does it mean that social media is not a place to share coupons, specials, deals? No way, of course not. Absolutely, you need to share that stuff. It just needs to be mixed in with other content. And you should take extra care when crafting your deals, your coupons, and your specials to make sure they look great, or they have an amazing value, so that people interact and engage with them, right? The biggest outcome of sharing a coupon is not that a bunch of people bring it in and redeem it. It's that a bunch of people share it on social media with other people who maybe have never heard of you, right? So it's a great way to get new business. But you just want to make sure that that those coupons are really, really good. All right, so let's move beyond social media altogether. We get so involved in it and we depend on it so much that we forget that a lot of digital marketing was actually happening way before Mark Zuckerberg even graduated from high school. So let's go old school and talk about email marketing. It's been around for a long time, and it's still used for one reason: because it works. It works. Chances are that every single one of you on this webinar is on at least one email marketing list that you actually pay attention to, possibly even the one that brought you to this webinar, right? Restaurant email marketing can be even more effective than other people's email marketing. You get to custom craft your message, and you get to choose exactly who sees it, right? Because you can make your email list and you know who's on that list, where they came from, how they got to you, and you get to decide when it hits their inbox. So all of that together makes email marketing for your business super effective. And we can take all the rules from social media above that we talked about, and we can apply them directly to our email marketing campaigns. We can create fresh, engaging email content that makes people want to take action. And that's what it's really about. The humble brag that thanks all your customers for the success that you had, and the coupon or special that you're giving back to them as your way of saying thanks, that's an amazing email campaign. The pop culture references. What better meal to eat while watching Tiger King than a ribeye steak, right? If you're a steakhouse, Tiger King was custom made for you. Or maybe a tiger striped pizza, whatever it is, right? All those social media rules apply to email as well. And email, it moves a little slower. It's not as fast as social media. You get to take your time on crafting the right campaign, and you get to send it out. And you know that when people are reading it, they're going to at least spend a little bit of time on it. They're not just scrolling to the next email. So once again, I'm gonna recommend PosterMyWall. PosterMyWall has made email campaigns pretty easy. You can go in and take any of their designs, any of their elements, and you can turn it into an email campaign, and they take care of all the legal stuff for you. So there's a lot of rules around email campaigns, but they've taken care of all of that. So they add the required disclaimers, they collect all the information that they need to collect for the Can-Spam Act from you about your business, and they included an unsubscribe button on every email that goes out. So if you don't have a different email system, that one is easy to use, and you can start taking advantage of it right away. Now, the question is, how do I get email addresses? Well, we're going to go all the way back to the very beginning, and we're going to talk about you need a website. So your website's an excellent place to collect email addresses. So if you were using Squarespace, for instance, you can create a pop-up on the website very easily, and people can sign up for your newsletter, which gives you your email address, and they can send those emails out to the people that have signed up for your newsletter. Okay. So if you are using a POS system, there's probably a way to collect email addresses. Now, if you're using Square, which I talked about earlier, I do want to point out that Square has an option where you can get your receipt emailed to you. Those email addresses are different than newsletter email addresses. Square actually has an option for both. So if you are using a POS system that allows you to collect email addresses for receipts, you're going to need to go in and look and see, can I use those for marketing? Square is interesting in that you can use those internally for marketing, but you can't export them to use them in a different system. So I just want to let you know. Now, normally when we're talking about email marketing, one of the things that I have to say is, oh, here's a way to bribe people to get them to give you their email address. We don't have to do that right now. People want to give you their email address. They want to help you. And if you tell them that a way that they can help you and support you is to give you their email address so that you can keep them up to date on the latest information, they're going to jump at that chance to stay connected to you. It's again, right? I'm going back to my bold statement earlier. This is the best possible time to market your business. There's never been an opportunity like this. So you don't have to worry about the birthday list or anything like that you've had to do in the past. You can just tell people, hey, we want to keep you connected. Things are changing rapidly. We want you to know what's happening with us. We want you to know when we're going to reopen. Give us your email and we will keep in touch. And there's going to be a large percentage of people who actually do that. So we talked about email marketing and we talked about social media marketing, but what about something that's even faster? And that's text message marketing, SMS marketing. So if you're not already doing SMS marketing, this is something that we do for our clients. We have a great little platform that's pretty inexpensive, and it's a self-serve platform that allows you to easily let people sign up for a text list. And I want to show you how easy it is. So if you either scan that QR code that's on your screen right now with your phone, or you just text the word cooking to 71441, you're going to get signed up for a list. I'm not going to text you beyond this session. So don't worry about, oh man, I don't want to sign up for that list. I just want you to see how it works. So what's going to happen is either one of those is going to get you to the point where you can sign up. We can also do a form on your website, right? Going back to you need a website. And once they're on a list, it's just like your email marketing. You can have multiple lists. You can pick who you want to send things to, but sending out a text is a snap. So I'm going to show you right now how easy it is to send out a text. I'm going to click on Text Blast. This is what we have to do. So we type in, this is my text. We go down here and we pick the list that we're going to send it to, which I called this PosterMyWall webinar. There's only 2 of us on it so far because I signed up and my lovely assistant Hannah signed up. And then I click on send, or I can go in here and schedule it for a date and a time to go out. I can even make them recurring. So it's super easy. And there's all kinds of extra things that you can do with this platform. I'm not going to get into it all because that in and of itself is an hour-long webinar, but I just wanted you to see how easy it is. So this signs you up for the list, and then people can even remove themselves from your list by just texting back stop. So it's super easy, it's inexpensive, and I'll send you out information after the webinar about it. Okay. Whew. So far, that's been a lot, right? One of the things about texting is, unlike email marketing, people aren't just blasted with a bunch of text messages every day from businesses. So your text message is going to stand out. And it's important to remember that the time between when somebody gets a text message and when they read it is typically super short, like 5 minutes. So it's a really easy way to make it fast that they see your message, which is even faster than email, which makes it potentially even more effective. But it just depends on your client base. All right, let's move on. Fresh, not frozen is our next section. And the reason I called it this, a lot of your former competitors are stagnant. They're not doing anything. They're frozen. They're not marketing well. They don't know what to do. You're clearly ahead of them because you signed up for this webinar. So you're already a step ahead. Now you know you need to turn out fresh, engaging content, and you know that everything doesn't have to be and shouldn't be about just selling people. You want to share information about things that are happening in the community, good deeds that are being done, new information, food drives for the people in needs, right? Ways to help local businesses. All of this is good content, but it also makes you stand apart even more. And that last one is especially helpful. You can educate people on how to help other small businesses in town. And it isn't just about purchasing from them, right? So something that every business always wants or should always want is reviews. Reviews and social media activity are both important to local businesses. And you can help people understand that and that they can help other small businesses without spending any money. And this is another great opportunity for me to mention PosterMyWall, for you to go get a great template, lay out some specifics, post it on Facebook, make a little video, right? Hey, here's how you can help. So I just want to lay out some ways that people can help other small businesses without spending any money. They can leave a review on Google, on Bing, on Facebook. Tell them where to go leave a review. They can share content, right? So if a business posts some content, they can share it. They can engage with the content on social media. This list looks really simple, but the elements behind it are super powerful. And the best part about this is if you're telling people that this is how they can help other local businesses, they're probably going to do it for your business too. So it's really self-serving, but in a very nice way, because you're really talking about this is how you can help other businesses. Okay. Whew. All right. So we have talked about a lot. We have talked about social media marketing, and we have talked about email marketing, text marketing. But what I want to talk to you about now is actually targeted social media advertising, which is different than just making a post. Okay. This is a great time to run targeted ads. People are on social media a lot. And so that it makes social media ads extra effective right now. And as a bonus, we've seen some prices go down on social media ads because people are pulling back their budgets. So it means it's better for you if you are advertising. More people are seeing it and your money goes farther. That's, I keep saying it, but that's another win-win. So if you're the DIY type, you can find plenty of help online to launch your first social media campaign for whatever it is, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever your preferred social media platform is, Instagram, which by the way is part of Facebook. So it's all the same campaign. If you want the help of experts, you can find plenty of those as well. And again, right, including us, this is what we do. And we would be happy to help you advertise your business, but you can do this on your own as well. So after the webinar, we'll send out an email that has contact info in it. Feel free to reach out to us if you want to discuss. But I want to go back now to the whole you need a website thing, because this is what I was talking about. I told you would miss out on your own traffic. So here's what happens. There's software that goes on a website called a cookie, right? Everybody probably knows that. And you know that it tracks you. But what you might not know is you can actually use that to your advantage to do your own advertising. So I can put a piece of software on my website that Facebook gives me called a pixel. And when one of you goes to my website, I don't get to know that it's you. Like, I don't know, for instance, that it's you, Daniel Smith, out in, wherever you live. Wow, I couldn't even think of a city off the top of my head. I don't know that it's you, Daniel Smith, in Newark, New Jersey. But I do know that it's user 952733148, right? And that cookie keeps track of you. And then I can put you into a Facebook audience and I can advertise to you. And that can be really powerful because I can break it down in a lot of different ways. Now, we've all seen this in action, even if we don't realize it. We've gone to Amazon, we've looked at something. The example I always use is a pair of shoes. You look at a pair of shoes, then you leave and you're surfing around the internet and suddenly that pair of shoes is everywhere, right? That's exactly what we're talking about. It's called retargeting, and you can do it in a lot of different ways. But the nuts and bolts of it is you went to a website, the cookie is tracking you, and now you are getting advertisements for whatever it was that you looked at. We can do that for your restaurant as well. It's inexpensive. It's not complicated. If you have a website and you have a Facebook page, we can make that happen on social media too, so that we can advertise directly to people who have gone to your website. Now, if we combine that in with your online ordering system that we talked about earlier, right? Building an online ordering system, we can even go so far as to advertise to people who have ordered from you online before. And it doesn't even stop there. We don't even need that cookie and that pixel to do this. If you have a list of customers and you have some information about them, their name, their phone number, their email address, what city they live in, we can just take that data and get that into Facebook, and Facebook will do its voodoo behind the scenes and match up the Dan Woodman that ate at your restaurant 3 months ago with the Dan Woodman that's on social media. It will put them together and it will put me in an audience that you can then advertise to. So even if you didn't have that pixel in place, you can, and you have a customer list, you can still advertise to those people. Now, why would you want to do that? You would want to do that because the Facebook algorithm doesn't get your Facebook posts out to everyone. It doesn't even get them out to all your followers, let alone people who don't follow you or don't know about you. This is a great way to target those people and to advertise directly to them. And it's a good way to grow your audience, to remind those people that you exist, to get them to like your Facebook page so that you can advertise to them easier. Because when you're doing those ads, another way to target people is you can target people who like your page or people who are friends with people who like your page. And all of this is possible. All right. So there's so much going on that I kind of ran us out of time a little bit. And I want to make sure that we have time to talk about our relaunch list, because some of you, that's why you're here. So I want you to think about the relaunch, right? The relaunch is going to be huge. It's going to be potentially, it could be one of your biggest days, because we are all tired. We are all tired of not being able to go to our favorite restaurants. So everybody's in a different situation. For some people, you're already open. For others, it's various stages of around the corner, right? Or maybe down the block in some cases. But it is going to happen, and it's going to be an event. And when it happens, it's going to be amazing. One quick glance at the news from any state that has reopened shows you how desperate people are to get back to something that resembles normal life. It's going to be like Mardi Gras or the 4th of July or baseball's opening day, or maybe all three even rolled into one, right? It is time to celebrate. So we know that we need engaging content, but we want to make this relaunch an event. We know that we have an email list and an SMS list, and then we can notify everybody, and then we can post it on social media, and we can talk about our, we could even do a Facebook Live and talk about our big grand reopening. But what else can we do? We can do a lot. So let's look at our relaunch list. We can update the online world. Everywhere we have any ability to post what's going on, we should do that. That means all of your social media profiles, all those websites I mentioned earlier, like Foursquare, Zomato, 8 Coupons, Nextdoor, Google My Business, Bing Places, your website, everywhere. Discuss your precautions, right? Update any special precautions that you're taking on your website, Google My Business, everywhere that you can. Make sure that information is accessible to those people who want to see it. And let your guests know what you expect from them as well, because all of that's going to be important. Run a Facebook campaign to amplify the reach of your opening message. If you haven't done it on your own yet and you don't have somebody to help you, then at least create an awesome post and boost it so that you get the message out as far as you can. Notify your email list, notify your SMS list, call customers that are regulars, whatever you have to do to get that word out. And maybe even have some sort of special event for these people that are your loyal followers, right? That have liked your Facebook page, that are on your SMS list, that are on your email list. Give them a little reward for coming out. Make a banner. Hang that banner up that says grand reopening or relaunching or whatever phrase you want to use so that people see it, so that they know that you're going to be reopening. You can easily make a banner on PosterMyWall, download the file, and get it printed at your local printer. Print disposable menus. This is a way to kind of make everybody feel safer. Again, you can go to PosterMyWall, get a menu template, and get those printed. Poster your walls, literally put up posters that show people what you expect of them and what you're doing to try and keep them safe. Dining al fresco, right? So a lot of places are sort of establishing new criteria for outdoor dining, and take advantage of it. Make it an event. Don't just make it, oh, we're forced to eat outside. Hey, we get to eat outside. This is great. And turn it into something bigger than it already is. And overall, just make your relaunch an event. Okay, make it an event. Make it something that's going to be absolutely amazing. And speaking of absolutely amazing, one of the things that you can do is, I just gave you some ideas here, but you can go beyond. You can go beyond what I just suggested, and you can make it even bigger. Justin, are you with me?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, all right. So
right
I'm sorry, Justin, I talked over you twice. I'm going to do it one more time. So I've got Justin Jones with me, who's the co-founder of Radiant, and he's going to talk about how to take some of those things that I just mentioned and take them to a whole nother level. I mean, it's like, bam, right? So Justin, take it away.
Right on. And thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this webinar and for everybody to take the time during these trying times. And we're all in this together. The entire world, for the first time, I believe, is united to fight the same fight. And, that's the fight against COVID-19. So, it's our job for everybody on this call to not only, serve our communities harder than we've ever before, but to serve our staff members and to give everybody an unforgettable experience when they come into our restaurants and to our bars, and making a safe and virus-free environment for not just our customers, but for our team members. And a lot of people have been coming to me. They've been hitting me up on email, social media, my phone's blowing up, and they're asking me, how do you do that with digital signage? I'm getting these mandates. I can't have menus. I can't have print. And that's one of the beautiful things, and even with PosterMyWall is it's not just a print application anymore. They have a lot of digital media that you can put on your digital signage. So, when we started Radiant, and I'll make this quick because I'm at the end here, but it was our goal to educate businesses on why they needed digital signage. And digital signage for bars and restaurants is now a need more than a want for the first time ever. And when you have a product where there's a need and a want, it's a win. And it's there to help you guys open your businesses, get your menus up, and so forth. In today's world, interconnectedness of our modern world has caused a shift in the way we do business to now and tomorrow. It's a different world right now. And, when you go into outward facing signage, the way that people are thinking about restaurant shops and other businesses, what we found has changed. it's now an experience that needs to be, it's now an experience. Display menus, enticing images of dishes using digital signage. Digital signage has shown to increase unplanned business by over 70%. Show people that we always have something fresh and different. Being able to change your menus on the fly is big. This is what the Radiant platform is providing, from music videos, interactivity experiences, to menus. Digital menus versus paper menus. Next slide there. Use Radiant digital signage to make changes on the fly. Beef prices go up, change the price on the fly. Don't keep that menu out there. We have to print them again and take a loss on that product. You don't know how many customers we run into every single day where they take a loss on 1, 2, 3, 4 items on their menu because pricing changed and expensive. It's expensive to print. Now with PosterMyWall, you can not only print menus but you can load those digital images onto your digital signage. If you don't have a marketing department, if you don't have the high quality images, you can use PosterMyWall to load those images. Turn your environment into a fully immersive experience. I believe that's the future. That's what I'm hearing from my customers, is make it an experience. This is your time to start over as a business owner and to give your customers and your community that experience. With Radiant, you're able to do that. You can tweak and control every experience with complete control from the cloud, from your cell phone, from your iPad. Hopefully someday, here in California, we're back on the beaches, but you're on the beach, you want to change something, you want to do whatever you want to do on your menu. You're able to do that. And with digital signage and with Radiant, we're more of a control platform, a business platform. Everything in this webinar has just teed it up for Radiant digital signage. We offer Instagram. So if you want to have like a wine Tuesday or taco, let's call it Taco Wednesday moving forward. Let's change it up. Taco Wednesday, and change it up. Just be creative. This is your time to just bring out the creativeness and the love you have for your business, and call it Taco Wednesday, and hashtag Taco Wednesday, and you throw that on your Instagram, and that can actually display on your digital signage using Radiant. So your guests are interactive. That's bringing the experience to your restaurants. Applications like Traybon that take all your menus. This is what we do. We build a platform that allows you to take all these different applications to put onto your digital signage and update all of your content on all throughout the web, World Wide Web. Blue Jeans, if you want to go, we have a Blue Jeans application. It was an application we built with Mark Wahlberg. You're able to go live to your customers or go live to your employees about trip and fall, maybe specials that are come out. Showcase your customers, like Dan said. Dan mentioned recycling your content. This is the fastest way to recycle your content. I don't care what product's out there. Digital signage is the fastest way to recycle your content and to put new, organic, clean content up at any given time. You're spending money on your website. But what happens when they come into your business? They're not seeing your website. Make a great website and take that same content you're building and put it onto your digital signage in your restaurants. Give that same experience. Don't let them forget what they saw on the internet. Why not bring the internet to your restaurant? And last thing is public safety, which is really big right now. And that's the next slide there. Public safety protocol. I'm part of a lot of mandates with different states, counties that are opening up. I've always preached this since day one of starting Radiant, is opening and closing procedures. That makes this a need more than a want, because this is the way, especially during COVID-19, and the way we beat COVID-19 as a group is we need to have opening and closing procedures. When you open up, before your customers come in, have your opening procedures. How many of you guys out there have issues with opening procedure? You come in, stuff's dirty, employees are complaining. Put your opening procedure, have your TVs come on, have your opening procedures with video, put it on YouTube. We have video with sound. Do your closing procedures. Once you close, boom, the TVs go to closing procedures. After opening procedures, it goes to customer facing menus, sizzle reels, how delicious your food's looking coming out of the oven, your Instagram app. You can do all that and just create this really great content that fits. You serve breakfast, lunch, dinner, change it. Our Radiant product will allow you to change it throughout the day, any day, every day. A year from now, 6 months from now, throw up your Christmas specials, your holiday specials, Thanksgiving, whatever's out there. And with Radiant program, employee facing content is one of the biggest things I preach. I believe we need to make it really safe for our employees and our team members to come back to work and let them know how we're keeping our places clean and safety free and virus free. Compliance, trip and fall, daily specials, messages from the chef or the owner or the operator, engage, for everybody out there that has multiple locations, take your video from your phone, do a message and send it out to all your employees in the morning. Tell them how much you love them, how much you care for them, and what you're doing to grow the business and keep everybody employed. And I believe that's what it's about. And that's what Radiant does. And, go on, check us out. It's at radiant.com, RAYDIANT.com. You have a link there. It's a little bit heavy and blue, but it's radiant.com. Go check us out. We'll have one of our industry experts, vertical specialists work with you. They work with bars and restaurants on a daily basis. They'll help and share secret sauce. We're all in this together, like I said. So they have some great ways to help you engage your customers and help get your messaging out there, from, putting messaging in the window for those takeout orders, to everything else. So we look forward to talking to you, and I really appreciate you allowing me and Radiant to be part of this webinar. And I'm willing to join any of these webinars moving forward and doing anything I can to help everybody on this call.
Justin, that was amazing. So for those of you who are still with us, this is the first time that I've actually heard about Radiant. It was sort of a last minute addition. PosterMyWall, right? They knew about it, but this is new to me. So I'm excited because the idea that you could share real life, real time content on your digital signs inside your restaurant, outside your business. That's amazing. That is such a cool platform. So in my head, just right off the bat, here's a few things that I was thinking about is that's a great place to tell people where they could go sign up for your email list, remind them to follow you on social media, remind them to sign up for your texting list. But when you were talking about the messages, so they would have the ability, if let's say that salmon is the special today, they would have the ability to actually create a quick little video from the chef talking about the special that they could play on the sign whenever they felt like it.
Absolutely. And with our Blue Jeans application, and say the chef wanted to go live and talk to everybody in the restaurant and show them how delicious the salmon was coming out of the oven, they could potentially do that. And not only that, but he could just, is easy. Everybody has, a cell phone now. You can go ahead and, have them take a little video of it and load it onto the Radiant and put what time you want it to play and, build your own playlist where they can do it at any given time.
That is so cool. My head is kind of exploding right now with all the ideas. Justin, I hope that you and I can touch base and talk about that some more.
Yeah. And Rick, PosterMyWall's been a huge partner. We add PosterMyWall to every account. That's one of the pain points we had with our customers, is because, a lot of small mom and pop and 2, 3, 4, 5 locations, they're grinding every day, and
right.
They don't have somebody to build that really great content. And PosterMyWall does that for us, and it allows for our customers to go on. You don't have to go to a separate site. We're integrated with PosterMyWall. You click on the PosterMyWall application within Radiant. You choose the images you want. You put in whatever your special wants to be, and you load that onto Radiant. It's super simple. If you know how to use Facebook or Instagram or social media, you're going to be able to use Radiant, and you're going to be able to use PosterMyWall on Radiant.
So, and on top of that, we talked about all those different ways to make all that engaging social media. We talked about the idea that you can take the PosterMyWall templates and replace the video and the photos with your own stuff. Now you can use that same content in your own establishment on your own digital signs. Oh, yeah. Man, that's cool.
Yeah,
that is so cool.
And you hit the Instagram on the nail on the head. The Instagram application we have is one of our top 5 apps used in the market right now, because restaurants use it to engage their clientele by, hashtagging, like I said, hashtag, and whoever takes that right now, I want to know, because no one's done it. Hashtag Taco Wednesday. And, somebody hashtags Taco Wednesday and take a picture of eating tacos at your place, and you put it up here, you throw a little promotion, maybe you give them a beer or whatever it is. It's, that's what you use digital signage for. It's, and to take great pictures of your customers coming in and eating delicious food, and your employees. And like you said earlier in the webinar is, say something great about one of your employees and, what they do, and, maybe, what they do on the weekends, or what a great, they help somebody out, or whatever it is. Right. Encourage your employees and your team members to be great.
Okay, so I'm going to put you a little bit on the spot here, Justin, because like I said, my head is literally swimming with ideas. So when you're talking about the Instagram app and you're talking about a hashtag, are you saying that I, as a customer in the restaurant, could take a picture of myself, my friends, enjoying our al fresco dining experience, eating tacos on Wednesday, and if I hashtag it, that it's going to eventually potentially show up on that sign?
Yeah. So if you have, Joe's Pizza, and you're serving tacos on Wednesday, and you put, Taco Wednesdays at Joe's Pizza, that hashtag's going to go right to that Instagram and show up on your screen when Instagram's popping up.
Holy cow. Holy cow. That's awesome. That's awesome. So we have done that for some of our customers in the past. And it's been a huge process. We had to go find special software, and it was expensive, and it took a lot of work. And it's just built in. Holy cow, Justin, that's awesome.
And you can see, you'll be able to go to radiant.com and see our pricing. And the beautiful part about it is it's a turnkey solution. You call up and order today, you're going to have the device within 2 to 3 days. You plug it into you don't need expensive digital signage. You don't need installers. You plug it into the HDMI on the side of your TV, and within 2 to 3 minutes, you're up and working on that TV, and you can access it remotely. It basically becomes your own in-house channel. That's the way I like to explain it to a lot of customers. It's like, hey, it's your own in-house channel. Build your content. Make this your own. This is now Joe's Pizza channel.
So that holy cow that just came out of my mouth, I'm so sorry about that. I just went and looked at the pricing. Justin, the pricing here is amazing. So if I'm reading this right, these plans start at $59 a month for the product that you're talking about on a screen.
And that comes with every application we have. We're not going to have you go in and have to pay $4.99, $9.99 for different applications. It's all included with that standard price remotely.
So Justin, Robin just asked a good question. Is Radiant available only in the United States, or is it also available in Canada?
It's a US product now, but reach out to one of our sales reps. They're creative. Maybe we can get it up there for you.
There you go, Robin. This is so cool. So as you were talking about this, I just kept in my head, the reason I mentioned the pricing out loud is because in my head, I just kept building it up. And the question I had was, that you answered was, when you said it's a turnkey solution, my first thought was, oh, right, it's going to be some expensive TV that's got all of this built into it. But no, you're saying it works with any TV that has an HDMI port.
Exactly.
And it's totally affordable.
Yeah,
it's totally affordable.
Yeah. And TVs these days, it's, go to your Costco, go, not to give any shout outs, but go to your local, anybody with a TV, purchase your TV as long as it has HDMI, and our product's going to work with it. That's
amazing. I am so excited. We definitely have to have a conversation. I'm so excited about your product.
I look forward to it.
Awesome. I just want to say on behalf of Justin, myself, on behalf of our partner, PosterMyWall, thank you everybody for joining us today. This has been awesome. I love that everybody stuck around for an extra 15 minutes to listen to this. Thanks, Justin, for being here. I'm really excited that I got to hear your presentation. And I look forward to talking to you all in the future. We'll be sending out an email that's got contact information in it. I'll make sure that we include contact information for Radiant as well, because obviously you just heard how excited I am about this product. So I feel like you are probably as excited as well. And again, thanks for joining us, and look for that in your email. Have a great day, everybody.
Yep. Keep up the hard fight.
Stay safe.
Bye-bye.